Hey guys, I'm James, and I'm here with my friends John
Yeah.
and Steve,
Yo.
and we saw a new. I've heard, it's a big movie. That's what I've heard. I don't know for sure. Uh, and we wanted to give our impressions of the film. Steve, why don't you tell the good folks at home what movie this was?
That would be Star Wars: The Force.
And this is definitely not the third time we try to record this because I refuse to believe things are spoilers. But we are going to keep this spoiler free, which means I'm not going to talk about anything about the plot because apparently I have a larger uh, threshold for spoilers. But we will talk about the basic plot stuff that were shown in
The
the
marketing.
the marketing, except for the stuff we think the marketing fucked up on. But if you're someone who's spoiled by stuff like basic plot or names of people, uh, just go see the movie. Why are you listening to a review? Why are you listening to a bunch of people doing their first review ever in the first place? Honestly, just go see the movie. Actually, if you're a Star Wars fan, just go see the movie. There we go. We're done. Boom, reviewed. No, not good enough, guys. Okay.
We
Well,
didn't
I
even
guess if we
praise.
need to do a real review, fine. Fine. So, John, why don't you tell the good folks at home the basic plot of Star Wars: The Force Awakens?
All right. Well, The Force Awakens takes place 30 years after Return of the Jedi, and we pick up with new characters. The two main ones being Rey and Finn, and they're just similar to the original, Luke, Leia, Han, thrust into this battle between the Resistance and now what is called the First Order, which is a remnant of the Empire. And that's pretty much very basic.
Yeah, no, it's just I don't know how to go from here without explaining something that I was told was apparently a spoiler.
No, what? How? Why do you even need that? I don't understand why you even need that at all. Anyways,
Yeah, you
I'm
take
just gonna
control of
go
this,
into my.
please,
I'm
please.
just gonna go into my thoughts, my general impressions,
Okay.
without or trying not to spoil. No, we can't spoil.
I'll bleep
Well,
things
the
if
first thing
anything.
is I liked it. Definitely liked it as a Star Wars fan. I liked it. It hits all like the things that a Star Wars fan I think would want. Like it I said to you in the car that, oh wait, was it you or I don't remember or was it Steve? I don't know. I said it was a democratic Star Wars movie where it was like made by the fans for the fans. Like it was they wanted to recapture that feeling of, the original trilogy, and that's what they went for, and they accomplished that. It does feel like Star Wars. It feels like Star Wars is back. Not that I'm so sure it ever really left the way people make it sound, but you know what I mean. There's plenty of other Star Wars stuff that's been around forever without the movies. I do have issues though, the reason why I want to bring up the issues, it's gonna kind of sound like I wanted to start with that I liked it, but I don't know if you guys were gonna bring up the issues because we didn't
I,
really talk too much about them.
I, there's one thing that bugs me, and I won't go into it other than that I had a couple problems with the ending of the film.
Yes,
Yeah, and
I think. Go
that's
ahead.
all I feel like I can say.
Okay.
Like
All right.
that's,
Well,
mm,
well, I want to say that the first act to me is like perfection. I don't think they could have started the movie any better than they did. Like it's just, I was just like you kept saying, "Oh my god, I was so giddy," and there's moments throughout the entire film that make you just smile, especially as a Star Wars fan.
mm,
Um, but that beginning was just so good, and it's not reliant on the previous movies. You know what I mean? We're seeing new cast members. Boom, boom, boom. We get introduced to all the new players right at the beginning. You know.
right.
Um, and the pacing is so good. Like this movie is the fastest paced Star Wars by far. In fact, it might be too fast. It's both a good thing because it keeps you in it the entire time, but then also I feel like sometimes the movie doesn't have room to breathe. Like it's a little rushed, and I think that that's what leads to the problems you have with the ending,
Right. Yeah.
because all of a sudden things are just like boom, 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 and you're like, well, that didn't feel earned. You know, it feels like okay, that just happened.
Yeah. That felt like
Um,
they had to end the movie at that
yeah,
point.
yeah, and to be fair, we're not saying, or I don't think we're saying, I'm not saying the climax or anything. I think everything up to the climax is, right. It's when they're trying to close the movie.
Yeah.
What
Yeah. The
feels like an
the the
epilogue
fall
thing
the
going on
fall
there.
from the
Yeah,
climax. Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's all right. So we agree on that. But throughout the movie, my issue as well is that it almost is too close, to the originals. It's both. Again, it's both a good thing and a bad thing.
Mm.
Because on the one thing, it's what they needed in a way because they're trying to re-earn fans' trust and they're playing on that nostalgia. But I think they almost rely on it, and it hits the beats. It makes you feel good, but then at the same time, there's no surprise. You know what I mean? Like there's no. I pretty much predicted the movie before I saw it. You can ask Art though. I mean, when he sees it, he'll be like, when he sees it, he's gonna be like, okay,
Yeah.
everything coming. Um, and that's not
A
bad.
bad.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying it's not quite. It's not the way I completely the way I felt watching the original, where I was like, my little kid mind was being blown left and right. It was
Right.
just awesome. It was just awesome. Instead of being mind blowing, whatever, it was just cool and awesome, and felt good. Um, but yeah, I don't know. That's where I'm at with it. Like I really liked it. It did make me feel like Star Wars was back. I can't wait for what's next. Um, but I wasn't too surprised with this film. But there's still so much to love about it, not just because it's more Star Wars. The new characters, they're deserving of being the new main cast. I'm not gonna miss. Look, Solo, big part in this movie, but I'm not gonna miss like the days where like Han Solo, Leia, and Luke were just leading the way the entire time. We've got Rey, Finn, and hopefully more Poe Dameron down the line. That they are the leading, stars that we need.
I think we'll see a lot more Poe in the next movie.
Yeah, hopefully. So okay. So let me break down the characters without spoiling, or without spoiling them at all. Rey, she's the lead. That was obvious in the marketing too. I wanted it to be Finn, but Finn still, he's like the heart of the movie. But Ray is this strong, likable, character, and Finn, he's everyone's funny. There's good banter in between, but he's hilarious. Like I loved his character. He made the film for me in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And then Poe Dameron, he's so likable, but he's in a couple scenes. Like he's not a huge part of the movie. He gets the thing going. He ties these characters together in a way, but only a couple scenes. But every time he's on screen, it's awesome. So I hope,
Right.
like you said, we'll probably get more of him after that. And then they do use the original cast well. Solo, they hinted at this in the trailer. You see him. It seems like he's going to be the Obi-Wan type, and he is. He's the one leading them, even if it's a little reluctantly. I won't get into that though. But the best part about this is they got Harrison Ford back, and they got Harrison Ford back, like actually back, because he's come back to roles before, and it's just Harrison Ford winking at you saying, "Oh, I'm Indiana Jones again." Whereas here, he's not Harrison Ford. He's Han Solo again.
Hmm.
He is the character he was 30 years ago. And that
Feel like he is Solo.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with you. Like you really get that feeling of he is Han Solo instead of like in other movies where they tried to bring him back.
Yeah, like it's perfect. It's not just him committed to the role as well. Like obviously the manners, the way he, talks, and but the dialogue. They got Lawrence Kasdan back, and that was probably best thing they could do for this movie because he wrote that Han Solo dialogue and whatever, and the lines were exactly what you want from Han Solo. And there's just so many moments where the way he reacts to something just made me smile because I'm like, that's Han Solo. You know, that's Han Solo reacting the way Han Solo should. And yeah, so I've been talking forever, so somebody needs to.
Well, before we go any further, how about I'm just kind of curious, like on a scale of 1 to 10, what's everyone's like Star Wars fan level? Would do you guys say?
Well, it's tough because if a 10 is like, oh, I'm going to conventions and I'm in suits and stuff, well, I'm not there. But the thing is, I love the movie. Like they're a big part of my childhood. Like when I was a little kid, I used to watch the original trilogy in my VCR. You know, put in the VHS, it plays, it finishes, and I'll go straight to the next one, and then, or sometimes maybe I just want to see A New Hope again. I'll just rewind it. And once it gets back to the beginning, press play. Like just literally sit there all day watching Star Wars. And I did that a lot. And I'm something of a prequel apologist as well. So yeah, like I'm a pretty big Star Wars, I think.
I'm gonna put you down as an 8.
Sure, and you know why? Because I'm not. I never really got super into the expanded universe as good as it is. Like pretty much, if I'm not watching it, I'm not really doing it. I've played, Knights of the Old Republic, and
So you're mostly a film fan.
yes, I'm
Alright.
really into. Yeah.
Steve, where would you
Well, I
say
watched the
you are?
shows as well. I do want to say that I watched all the shows.
Okay.
Clone Wars, Rebels.
How about you,
Um,
Steve?
I'm also more of the movie fan. I know there's the whole Star Wars universe, and that gets absolutely like batshit crazy
Well,
if you
don't
read
worry,
into it,
it's all
even a
dead
little bit.
now.
Well, there's still.
I guess I would say that like 5. And I feel bad saying that because I do love the movie so much, but then at the same time, like if you're saying like a general Star Wars fan,
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest.
Okay, I'll put it this way. I had these accessories for our premiere, and so I wore these glasses on my hat. Eve didn't. I gave him a pair. He didn't wear them. Didn't care to wear them.
I want to face. You said I couldn't wear them.
Because did you want to fuck up your eyes? They were 3D glasses. You could have. I was just letting. Anyways.
Alright, so you both would say you're film fans. You've seen the films multiple times. Stuff like that.
Right.
Yep.
I was gonna use the 1 to 10 scale, and I would probably put myself down as a 4? Because I like the Star Wars films, but I've probably seen each movie once.
Mm.
I don't. I maybe watched 1 or 2 of them a second time, and again, I haven't seen them in a long time.
Mm.
Like, but I like
You're
Star
good.
Wars. I
Mm.
I think it's from what I remember, it's a good series. I remember most of the beats. I had to ask you a couple questions for a couple characters, but that's about it.
You're way overdue for a long marathon.
Oh, yeah, like the thing is, what I would say about that though is I wouldn't marathon by myself. If like you or John said, "Hey, let's watch all the movies," I would do it. But that would be more because I want to hang out with you guys rather than I really want
Mm.
to rewatch the movies. I kind of do now after watching the latest movie, but again, I would much rather do it with friends than find a way to watch all of the movies by myself because that probably means I gotta buy a Blu-ray for like $1,000.
All right, well, you need to get into your review, but one thing I want to say that's interesting then is that I think that this is kind of, I mean, I might be wrong. It might just be me. I might just be weird, but I think that this movie is almost better served by for people like you, where you know Star Wars, so you're still gonna get a little nostalgic. You're still gonna be like, yeah, this is familiar. I like this, but you don't know everything, or you don't remember everything, so that there is some level of support you can get out of this. For me, it's like literally, I felt like it was a remake of New Hope with a little bit of Empire Strikes Back and a little bit of Jedi. And to be fair, as much as they're running away from the prequels, a little bit of the prequels too. I don't know if anyone else will admit it, but there's some of that in there. So yeah, I don't know, because I wonder if people like me are gonna feel that way. Like, okay, well, this wasn't much of a surprise. And then if people that haven't seen any of, would they be able to get as much because there is so much that is kind of winking at you and
Right.
I don't
I feel like you could see this movie and enjoy it without having to seen the
Well, I'm
previous
not
one.
talking about enjoying it. I'm just talking about to the extent that it's supposed to be. Like I enjoyed it, but like I said, I don't even know. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as I did. To be,
You broke up
like
a
I
little
did.
at the end there.
I said, I don't think I enjoyed it as much as you did, to be honest. And that's
I
weird
think there.
to me.
Well, should we get on to my thoughts or Steve's thoughts?
We'll go to your. Well, I guess unless.
Steve?
Yeah, we'll do it that way. We super okay. I just marathoned all of it before. Then we'll go to Steve, who's seen them more recently than you for sure.
Hmm.
Get to you.
Steve?
Yeah.
Uh,
What did you like about this movie without spoilers?
Oh man. I like the cast that was introduced in this movie, the new characters, and then I
Mhm.
like how the characters that we already know were incorporated into it very well. I thought.
Mm-hmm.
You were saying about the pacing. I like the pacing a lot. It did change up towards the end, but for the most part, I liked the pacing. It was good. It had Finn was a great what can I say? I don't
Stepping
know.
on
He did a good
eggshells.
job of keeping you in it, being that guy that was gonna make you, laugh, and then you're on into the next scene,
hmm.
ready to go, ready to get some more.
Yeah, I think he definitely was the heart of the film. Ray's the main character, but I think Finn is the heart of the film.
Yeah.
It
Right.
doesn't work nearly as well without his character. And he actually
Um.
has the most going on as well. As you know what I mean?
Yeah.
His character goes through a lot from beginning to the end of that movie.
True.
So do you want to get
um.
into it, Jane? Oh, okay, there you go.
No, like I feel like I covered a few things, but I'm trying to think of if I can say anything else without being the spoiler guy.
You could just say James, apparently.
No, wow, that's not even what I meant. um, am I allowed to say who my favorite character is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. I like Kylo Ren the best. He was my favorite.
You know,
In
yeah, you need to get
a
into that
certain,
because I didn't even mention him and I freaking loved him. Like, go ahead.
but I even still I don't want to say much about him because I feel like I'm gonna give stuff away. Um, just I like the way they introduced him. It was that that big moment you saw the ship
Mm-hmm.
and you kind of knew like, all right, this guy's coming out. This is the coming out party right here. And just the way I feel like there's more to find out about him still, even though he was a big part of this movie.
Yeah. It's
Um,
actually interesting that he's the villain, and I feel like maybe he had the most character development.
Hmm.
yeah,
Because we
you figure
really
out a
know
lot.
his situation. We really know his situation.
Yeah,
Very different from Vader in the original trilogy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He was kind of like the fourth character where Vader was more in like the background, bad guy in the previous films, from what I
Yeah, he was
remember.
he was supposed to be just this badass, imposing force that shows up at the right moment. Whereas Kylo Ren, we don't just see him when he's out being a badass. We see him when he's in a room by himself, you
Yeah.
know,
right.
and we get to know him and see what his struggle is and all that. But I don't want to cut into Steve's
Hmm.
No, I mean you're pretty much saying what I wanted to say. I
things.
couldn't put it together without certain details. But I
Hmm.
think you
Yeah,
hit the nail right on the head.
I think we should move on to Jay because I think we're gonna have a much better conversation in the spoiler cast. So you need to just wrap this thing up already.
Okay. So yeah, I'm not really gonna go into like characters and all that stuff because it's pretty much a echo chamber at that point. Uh, I will say I went to go see this movie half asleep because I just got off work. I worked the night shift, and all of a sudden John's just like, "Let's go, let's go. We got 30 minutes. Let's go."
Oh,
And and it's you know I went in there half tired, and I've never fallen asleep in a movie theater, but our movie theater revamped itself, and it it would have been very possible to fall asleep that day, and the movie kept me awake the whole time. It was exciting. It was very funny. That was kind of was very surprise to me because I remember the old
Yeah.
films being more serious.
Yeah,
And,
definitely. This is
and
definitely the funniest one.
yeah, it's not a bad thing. It just seems like kind of how Marvel kind of thing where
Well, it's a J.J. Abrams thing because he was doing that before this Marvel universe took off. Star Trek.
okay.
Um, he rebooted that. Mission Impossible even is a lot more funny.
All
Took
right.
it over.
But it's it has good beats where it's action comedy, action drama, action comedy. It just hit the beats really well. Um, and like I said, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I know the basic plot lines, but I couldn't remember certain details that I had to ask John after the movie. But what I will say is even with my problems with the end of the film, how it wraps up a little too neatly. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
this movie, even though I'm not a Star Wars fan, made me feel like a Star Wars fan. Like there was a couple times I think where you looked over to me and I just had this huge ass open mouth grin, going, "Oh my god, did you hear what they just said? Of course you did because this is your second time seeing this fucking movie, John. Oh my god!" And it was just so enjoyable. And the second the movie started, it felt like one of the older films. Like I don't know if those ships were models or CG, but to me
Both.
yeah, in the beginning of the film it looked like a model. I'm like, oh my god. And throughout the whole thing, like they did a better blending to make it feel like the old films,
Mm-hmm.
and that was nice, And I have nothing against the prequels. I mean, they brought us the greatest character of all, Jar Jar Binks,
Oh.
who I'm still devastated is not in this film, especially
Well,
the
he
way
is.
I
No,
talked
no,
about
no.
it. Wait,
No,
what?
he is in this. He's a skeleton somewhere in the beginning.
No!
J.J. Abrams confirmed that.
damn.
0 out of 10 stars. But no, I joke because I love Jar Jar. But yeah, the whole film made me just feel like a Star Wars fan, and that was nice. It was it hit all the right beats. I love the jokes. The action was great. The drama was great. Again, the only thing that really sours it a bit for me because I can't let it go is just how the ending. There's just one tiny and it's a little nitpicky, I'll say. All I'm saying is if the next film doesn't have like at least 5 minutes explaining what the fuck, uh, I I'm gonna be that's how annoyed I am with the ending of the film. But other than that, it's a great film. Like I'll go see it again if uh, anyone wants to.
Look, I definitely would see it again, even though I've already seen it twice, and
Oh,
have nitpicked it to hell in my
you've
own
only
mind.
seen it twice. Another day went by before we did this review. I assumed you saw another 2 times.
If I had money, I
Uh,
don't have money. I don't have money. But
you should have
yeah.
told me. I would have bought your ticket as a Christmas gift.
What?
Oh,
Yeah,
Well, you can still do it.
I
You
have
know
a
what you should.
job.
You know what you should do then? You should. Arthel hasn't gone, and he doesn't. He doesn't
He's
even
going
want to go now
Thursday.
because. Oh, okay. But well, is he really though? Because he keeps saying he's see it someday, someday. But because no one's going with him, he doesn't actually go. He was gonna go last night, and he's
Huh.
like, "Oh, I'm ready when you are." I'm like, I don't.
Okay, well, I'll go with him Thursday. And if anyone else wants to go, sure.
All right, but wrap this thing up.
Yeah. Uh, so I think we're all in agreement. People should see this film.
Yeah, I
It,
think you should definitely see it.
even if you don't know about Star Wars, unless you really hate Star Wars, you should
And
probably
even
just go see
then,
this film. It's fun.
I'm not sure because it's very much Star Wars, but like we bring up the pacing. We bring up like like you okay, you brought up the Marvel movies. I brought up just James in general. I feel like he's a good pop director,
Mhm.
and I feel like anyone can get some kind of enjoyment out of this. Like, of course, no, not everyone's gonna like every movie. There's a lot of people who are not gonna like this, but I think the majority of
You kind of cut out.
no, I'm just saying that not there's not one movie that everyone loves. So obviously there'll be people who don't like it, but I'm saying that most people will like it. So even if you're not a Star Wars fan, you should go see it.
Yeah, but John, if you're not a Star Wars fan, you probably already made up your mind.
I guess.
Like,
I
at
don't
most,
think
I'll
that
see
way.
it when it comes on Blu-ray, maybe.
It's about to be the highest grossing movie of all time. Be a part of it. Be a part of it while it's happening. I feel like this is actually a movie to see with a crowd. You know how I am with certain crowds and stuff like that, and how I like to enjoy a movie. But this is a movie that you want to hear people clap and cheer and laugh and
Our
enjoy it
crowd
with.
was really quiet.
But you were loud enough for everyone.
Oh, was I? Oh, shit.
No. No, I just feel like you broke the tent. I feel like we were in a theater full of terrified Star Wars fans that were like they were like, I want this to be good, but I'm too scarred to open my heart again right
Oh
now.
my
Like
god.
I'm scared. The guy next to me. He's clearly a Star Wars fan, but he was just so tense the entire time. And like when the ending was coming, I finally see him just like relieved,
Oh my god.
like oh, this happened. They did it. I can love again.
Wow. So, does anyone have any last thoughts before we end this?
Go see it.
Okay, I guess we're all in agreement. Everyone should go see this movie. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, if you watch this, thanks for watching. If you've already seen the movie or don't really give a shit about spoilers, I guess we're gonna do a spoiler chat.
Yeah, I need to.
Okay, great. All right, see you guys.